Right, so I can't be bothered to angle the camera properly. You'll just have to deal with it. And it's also closer to 1 a.m. than midnight now, but whatever. I was just thinking about, oh, you can't be schizoid people, um, pressuring me to, have to defend the validity of my diagnosis. What annoys me the most about it is it's created this impression that I care more than I do and that it's more important to me than it is. Like, in the end, it's just a fucking label. Like, get over it. It helps explain and it helps people understand why I am the way I am and why I have the struggles that I do. But it's just a label. I mean, the ICD-11 doesn't even list it anywhere. Like, it doesn't exist anymore. Um, and like, who gives a shit? Yes, I present better, but I've still got all the basic stuff, and it just gives a framework to, like, help me realize that, yes, I had trauma, because there's no schizophrenia in my family as far as I know. I mean, maybe on the Japanese side, because, they've not been great with mental health stuff, so, who would have even been assessed on that side of the family? But, on my Aussie side of the family, no one's got schizophrenia, so do I have a biological thing going on? I don't know. If it came from anywhere, I'd guess the Japanese side, because, apparently my grandma was a bit of a nut on that side. But I'm going to assume that there's not schizophrenia in my family, which means that the main cause is probably trauma, and then I've had to, like, look at my life and finally admit that, yes, I'm a glass child, disabled sibling thing, parents with not enough time to meet my emotional needs. Me being the oldest child as well, you have different expectations when you're the oldest, even though you're, like, still a kid. Because you're the oldest kid, you have to act, like, older than you are, I guess, in that sort of a situation. I mean, I used my bloody Tamagotchi to time his seizures. Most kids with Tamagotchis are just having fun, and I'm using it for, like, a medical purpose. Ah. And I thought, oh, I haven't had any trauma. Imagine you go bowling and your little brother drops down with a seizure and your parents have gone a little bit further and they're too far away to yell out. And you've been told, okay, if the brother has a seizure, you roll him on his side and you time how long it is. If it goes over 5 minutes, you call an ambulance. Like, I've known that since I was tiny, too tiny to even know what a postcode was. And just, like, awkward shit like that. But, who cares whether or not I actually have schizoid personality disorder? I mean, the criteria technically fits. I'm different. But the whole point of having a diagnosis is to sort of help understand your struggles so that you can figure out what to even do. Like, I am struggling in my life. Depression treatment hasn't worked. So let's look at it from a schizoid lens. And yeah, maybe I will have some differences, but knowing that I have so much of that stuff has actually helped therapy, like, not put me through the same old depression stuff. So far, therapy hasn't helped me, but I like this therapist, I like this psychologist better because she's not treating me like an idiot. She's not treating me like, someone who just needs to get out and find more friends, like the first one I saw. You just need more friends. Fuck off. I don't need more friends. People are annoying. I don't want to hang out with them. Like, I've got a small number of people that I don't mind hanging out with, but I have very low social needs. I'm not gonna go out unless there's a reason. I went out with a friend today and well, technically yesterday, seeing as it's after midnight, but yeah, this friend that I haven't seen in, like, more than 5 years, and that was fine, although I was pretty tired when I came home after. I didn't realize I still needed a bit of recharge time after socializing. I thought I'd grown out of that, but on the other hand, with the pandemic, I haven't done that much socializing. Um, but yeah, like, that was fine, because the point of that was to catch up after a long time, but if I was going to hang out with people on a regular basis, particularly in a big group, it's just, I'd rather stay home. Um, Anyway, I'm really tired. Just I'm getting off track. The main point was just like, when people challenge things like that, when people challenge your diagnosis and sort of make you defend it, in the process of defending it, like, you kind of have to like, become more forceful about it, and I didn't want to be more forceful about it. Like, now I have to sit there going, actually, I have all this, when really I just, when I made that first video, I didn't know anyone would give a shit. Who knew there was a market for schizoid personality disorder? Like, I didn't know that anyone gave a shit. And now it's like this popular video, like when I, got my new computer and that took off for a bit, and, YouTube's telling me to be a tech YouTuber, and I'm like, fuck off. And the same thing here. YouTube, all the signals are saying, be a schizoid YouTuber, and I'm like, fuck off. That's not why I'm here. I just want to do my thing. I don't want to be a spokesperson, but when you force me to defend, this label, then you're kind of turning me into an activist against my will. So just, like, fuck off. I don't want it to be such a big deal. Like, I don't even, how, like, kids these days put all their disorders on their profiles. They're like, ooh, I'm bipolar, or ooh, I've got autism, and all this kind of stuff. Like, I haven't done that. I just don't want it to be such a big fucking deal, and you can all fuck off with trying to make me into something that I don't give a shit about, I don't like labels. I grew up in the 90s. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I had the impression that, having labels was not cool. It's better if no one can label you. You can't label me. And so it's just weird that these days it's gone back the other way. But I guess that's always like that, things swing between things. Like, when it comes to censorship, the religious right-wing Christians are like, you can't have witchcraft in kids' shows or whatever. And now it's sort of swung the other way, where the left is like, you can't say this and this about people. And it's just like, oh, these fucking pendulums. But I grew up when it was not cool to have labels, and I don't want to have to I don't want to have to defend a fucking label that, is just for the state of my mind. I would much rather just have, I was kind of rooting for myself to have my own disorder and just name it after me, because fuck you all. I would prefer that. I like being different. I don't want to be lumped in with everyone in some group. That's why I don't join schizoid forums and all that kind of stuff, because, like, I've seen some of them and people are annoying everywhere. It doesn't matter if you have my disorder or not. People are just annoying, and it doesn't matter when yeah, that's just the thought for today, is basically fuck off. Stop trying to make me defend something I don't really give a shit about. Think what you want about me. People have thought of what they wanted to about me since forever. Some people still think I'm a teenager. I haven't been a teenager for fucking ages. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm in bed, actually, but I'm gonna try and sleep. Been trying to write some music, and I know this video is pretty ugly as well. Yeah, whatever. Just, like, stop trying to make me be stuff that I don't give a shit about. It's just a label. Get the fuck over it and leave me alone.